Pecha Kucha 159, Inktober Week 2, and Marvel 1602. I feel like Inktober is really helping me have a higher output of art than I typically would, but I've literally got 20 minutes a day to do something sometimes, and my consistency is all over the place. So last Sunday I went and saw Joker, so naturally I had to draw a picture of Joker. Like my picture, it's kind of a dark film. I'll talk about it a bit more because the sad clown of the week will be the sad clown of the week. I did enjoy both drawing the picture and watching the film. On Monday, I phoned up HMRC because they think I run my own company. I don't. I have to explain this before they tax me like that. I did a comic on it because I could have made something funnier and better out of this, but again, I didn't have the time to actually really realize the ideal. This must be Tuesday. I already drew this picture of Slayer. He's got impossible hair. It's great fun trying to figure it out. I had to do plenty of studies of him to get a sense of how to draw him. This is the joy of drawing. But what I was actually trying to draw was some kind of X-Men thing with Cyclops at the X Manor and Wolverine telling him to fuck off. But as I was drawing it, I just ran out of time and had to go to bed, so I just had to use a Slayer picture I actually drew in September. I did draw a couple of things just to give myself a wiggle room. I technically started Inktober a week early, and that Slayer picture is the only picture I've posted that wasn't done on the actual day in October. So far, Optimus Prime again, because he's got all these angles and stuff, and I read a book on proportion, and I kind of think art looks a lot better when you can make it more interesting, deeper. And I will probably end up drawing more Optimus Prime because drawing him gives me issues to solve. It will make me better. I started using the prompt list, the Inktober prompt list pattern. It made me think of circles. Circles made me think of Bullseye. So I drew a picture of Bullseye. People don't know about Bullseye. He's a really entertaining B-grade villain from the Marvel Universe. I've only ever read him being awesome in the books I've read him in, Daredevil and Deadpool. So I used the prompt list again the day after. It was snow, so I thought yayo, so I thought Tony Montana. Drawing from imagery using a biro with no pencil. I was so sure I had a pencil in my bag at work, but I took it out the night before for Inktober. Surprise, surprise. Saturday, the prompt word was dragon. I like dragons. I don't know how to draw them, so this was a weird one. I was kind of just trying to draw something kind of like The Hobbit, you know. He's in the massive room full of gold, and the dragon notices him, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I used my Micron ink pens. Don't get to do that often enough. One of them was leaking. I made a mess everywhere. It was great. So Marvel 1602, someone had the great idea of taking all your favorite superheroes, throwing them back a few centuries, and changing almost nothing else. Question mark. I don't know. I guess sometimes you just need to fill the shelves, right? So it starts off with a Bruce Banner who is Scottish for some reason, although he ends up in the New World after betraying King James, who he is like his personal assassin and torturer or something. He, of course, does still turn into the Hulk, but when he wakes in America, there are dinosaurs for some reason that is never really explained. This book, the first half of this book, just had me going, but why do? Hulk is trying to save the good dinosaurs from the herbivores from the carnivores because, I don't know, reasons. And then Peter Parker and J. Jonah Jameson have also been reimagined, and I guess Peter got bitten by a spider here. Maybe it was magic, not radioactive, but then if you've read some of the recent Spider-Man stuff, that's not a retcon like you think. And yes, there's still dinosaurs, and I still don't know what's going on, and I still don't know why they bothered. And Norman Osborn is also here, and he is trying to start a fight between the Native Americans and the European settlers by playing both sides against each other so he can run away with the riches. What do they say? Different shit, same stink, or vice versa. And then, halfway through the book, the Fantastic Four stuff actually shows up, and then the book gets entertaining. The thing is like working for Shakespeare. I think, at his company, gets attacked by an army of vultures, the Spider-Man villain. I have no idea why anyone would have an army of old men who can fly. Doctor Doom is behind it. He kidnaps Shakespeare because he wants him to basically write down the epicness of his life, and they're going to go on an adventure off the side of the world. They're going to take a ship and sail to the edge of the world. And Doctor Doom's plan involves actually allowing the Fantastic Four to catch him. His lover is the Black Widow in this version of history, who tells him it's a stupid idea. He then throws her off his flying ship because he's mad. And we need to establish that by killing off the only rational character here, apart from Reed Richards. And when this said ship flies off the edge of the world, what do they find but Atlantis? So here comes Namor, and again we have the retelling of the dynamic between Namor wanting to bed Susan Richards, Reed Richards' wife. Doctor Doom plays some games to, because everybody ends up going off the ship, off the side of the world. Power gets taken. Reed Richards sees the eyes of God, and of course it's the Watcher. That big, bald dude who you either know who it is or you don't care. And in the end, it's a Saturday morning kids show story, but it's way more entertaining than all that stupid shit with the dinosaurs. So, worth reading for free, not worth paying for. So, Joker. I saw it. I just listened to Mark Kermode talk about it. It seems to be, in his words, a polarizing film. I very much enjoyed it. I can't judge it objectively, but Joaquin Phoenix's performance was excellent. And if you can give an Oscar to a superhero movie, then this is the one you give it to. Mark Kermode raised an interesting question about making the villain the sympathetic character, and also pointed out he's not sympathetic, he's simply pathetic, which is an interesting way of looking at it. Do I think this film is going to have the societal impact some of its detractors and fans think? No. I think it's good for what it is. I'm very glad I went to see it, but most people are going to see it because everyone else is seeing it, and in a month, no one's really going to give a shit. But yeah, I would go see it if I were you, if you haven't. Okay, so that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 159, and I will see you next time.